Let's get started, people. Can you guys hear me okay? What's up, Trevor Jackson? Code Red, how you doing, love? Good evening, good evening, good evening. Good Saturday evening. Hope you joined us last night for Freaky Friday. We do a Freaky Friday every Friday, okay? Very, very informative. Everybody spills their freaky guts on Fridays. Let me get a mic check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Mic check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Let me get my link ready. This is an open forum tonight. Open forum tonight. You guys can come up. You already know the rules. You got to say it with your face, or you got to save it. We don't argue or debate with avatars up here. You say it with your face when you pull up to the block. Oh my God! Hold on a minute. Brienne LaFay, congratulations, Mama. You're mommy. It's our block baby. Our block baby is here. For those of you watching that don't know, please follow and support Brienne LaFay. I put her right up there on my panel. There she is right there. We were waiting for her to give birth because one time she was having like these weird contractions while she was on my panel. So we said she's going to be the first block baby. So that is our first block baby. Hi, Mama. Congratulations. Oh my God, get some rest. Enjoy. It is amazing. It is wonderful. And we will be here when you are ready to cam up, okay? We will be here. We want to see some little toes and some little hands. I know you don't want to show her because I wouldn't show no babies online either. But we want to see her little toes or something. Give us a little toe. Give us a little pinky. Something. Oh my God, how amazing. Congrats, Mama. That's good news. That's good news. All right, guys. So welcome to another episode of On the Block with Jen. I'm YouTube's bad girl and your favorite devil's advocate and also your superwoman tonight. Tonight's going to be touchy. Trigger warning. If you guys even get triggered anymore, because we're so fucking desensitized at this point in this country. But just in case, trigger warning. Because I'm going to talk about a lot of stuff. And I'm going to talk about some semantics that are touchy, right? That you may not like. And that's okay, right? You watching me anyway. But tonight we're going to talk about Tyre Nichols. Right? I'm sure you've heard by now. And the funny thing is, when this story first broke, I got him confused with the Keenan, I think his name is Anderson. Keenan, don't get me to lie. I'll Google it in a minute. But basically, one of the founders of Black Lives Matter, you know, her nephew also got killed recently from a police interaction. He was tased as well. And then he died like 4 days later in the hospital. So I got them confused because this happens so often. And I'm like, wait, which one is this one? Is this the one in Memphis? Is this the one in Atlanta? Is this the one in Brooklyn? We get confused. There's a lot of them, right? And the news is sure to give us the information to keep us in the loop of police brutality because it's a big, you know, it's a big seller. Police brutality, plane crashes, race, big money makers in media. So every time something like that happens, depending on what the dynamic is, they'll shove it down your throat, depending on what the dynamic is. Say like a Latin guy was killed by a Latin cop, not so much. You're not going to see that all over social media and all in the news, although cops have killed a lot of Latin people, right? You're not going to see that in the news because it's not, you know, it's not a moneymaker. So they're going to go with either black on black or white on black, you know, etc. It's a big moneymaker. So I wanted to get into this tonight. Tyre Nichols, as you guys know already, and if you don't know, it is spinning, so you will hear it. It is straight off the press. This gentleman was pulled over by the police. Give me 1 second because I got a low battery. Un segundo, por favor. Let me grab my charger. And I'm back. All right, guys, thank you for waiting for me. Okay, so Tyre Nichols got pulled over. They were telling him to get out the car. You know how cops do, get the fuck out the car, get the fuck. You know what I mean? They have to do that intimidation thing. That way you get kind of scared and you're like, you comply. Unfortunately for Tyre Nichols, he fled the scene. He bolted. They chased him down. And if you guys don't already know, they beat him bloody. Okay, they beat him bloody, very reminiscent of Rodney King. Okay, some of us are old enough to know. You youngins probably have no idea who Rodney King is. Google it. That was the last time we saw someone get beat that badly on camera. Now, of course, we also George Floyd died very, very slowly, right? We saw him die very, very slowly. But as far as brutality and punches and kickers and tased and mace and batons being swung, we haven't seen anything like that since Rodney King. So unfortunately, Tyre Nichols fled. We're going to talk about, and this is, we're speculating because we don't have all the evidence, of course, so we can only speculate. We can only opine, right? We don't have any evidence. We're not in the court. We're not, we don't work for the police department. So we're just, like everybody else, just watching and speculating and feeling this thing, right? Or some of us aren't, right? Par for the course in this country. So we're going to talk about it tonight. I'm going to bring up some things that you may find are touchy or triggering or whatever, and that's fine. If it gets too much for you, by all means, click away and find another channel. There are 50 million on YouTube. So if something I say bothers you to the point where you're perturbed and you can't sleep, then, click away, find another, there's 49, I'm 50, right? If there's 50 million channels, I'm one of them, go find another one. 49 million, but I'm going to tell you how I feel and how I see it and things that I wonder about, right? Things that I wonder about. It's not gospel because, again, we don't have evidence, but it's just things that I feel about the case thus far, right? We can only talk about it thus far. We're still waiting on the autopsy. We don't even know if the man was intoxicated or he had drugs in his system. We don't know. We don't know. Not that it matters what he had in his system. I was just wondering why he was acting so erratic, so crazed, so like, it was like 5 officers who were black were not able to subdue him. And we're not talking about little guys. We're not talking about 5 little cops, okay? These are some big dudes, some big old NFL looking cops, okay? The type that pull you over and you're like, okay, whatever you say, you got it, right? Apparently Tyre was like, fuck nah, I'm out of here. He ran. They chased him, they caught him, and the rest is bloody history. He died in the hospital after. It's just awful. We're going to get into it, right? We're going to get into some of the things that I think. For the record, Haran and Lily, the rest of our lovely panel, they are traveling, but no saint is with us. No saint is holding me down, okay? Because he saw Lily and Haran abandon me. No, they're taking care of their business, and I'm very, very happy for them. They are traveling. And all of us aren't going to be here every night because we have other lives, okay? We're not full-time YouTubers. We have other lives. So some days I'm not going to be here. Some days no saint is going to be here. Some days Lily, some day Haran. Just so happens Lily and Haran are both traveling at the same time. Not together. They're both doing their own thing. All right, guys. So I'm going to drop the link one more time while I bring up No Saint. If anybody else wants to come on and chime in, since we'll have some empty boxes and some space today, feel free to come up. Hello, Mama. What's up, Necessary Evil? Hit that like and subscribe for me if you're here. Let me see if No Saint is ready to come up because he looked busy back there. You at work? Are you home?
I'm home, yeah.
Oh, so you busy.
I'm trying to get things quiet in here.
Oh, okay. No Don Julio tonight.
No, but what I told you about it is true. I had no effects whatsoever.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, not even like feeling, sometimes you'll wake up, you feel like you can't move, slow or something. No, nothing. It's pretty good.
Sister George, Mama, let me tell you something. A couple weeks back, first of all, I didn't even know that you guys came up now. So that's amazing. It is nice to see your lovely faces. Let me start there. I was on your stream. I done super chatted y'all. Okay. I think it was about $10. I'm not going to lie. It was about $10. You know that the freaking super chat took my damn money, didn't even throw up my little comment on freaking chat. And I was pissed the fuck off. And I was like, I can't even tell them hi with my little super chat. But it was a pleasant surprise to see both your faces because I know you guys never used to cam up, or maybe you did, I'm not sure. But that was the first time I saw you two cammed up, and I was very happy to see you guys. So they don't, that's the second time that happens to me. It's the second time that I send a super chat and it doesn't even like appear on the thing. I was pissed off. But good to see you, Mama. Good to see you. I'm sure you covered this story already. All right, guys. So tonight we are talking about, this is what we're talking about. And I'm going to hit you with a couple different angles because you know how I do. My stroke game is different. I don't go in and out. Okay. Going in from the side and all around and all of that. So Tyre Nichols, what happens when you can't blame racism? Ouch. Oh, shit. It's going to be different. This conversation is going to be different. Okay. All righty. Tyre Nichols, what happens when you can't blame racism? It's a different argument. Oh, sister, you didn't have to do that, mama. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for the super chat. You didn't have to do that. That was, and let me tell you, that's the second time that happened to me. I did it on the Star Report one time, and I did it on Sister George's page, and the freaking, like, it didn't even register. Wait, I did it on Super Slide too, and the same shit happened. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but that happened to me before. And I was like, where's my fucking super chat? Okay, so Tyre Nichols, what happens when you can't blame racism? Got a couple semantics that I'm going to touch on that are touchy. You know what I mean? No, Saint.
Mm-hmm.
You're the white voice. You're on the outside looking in. You're on the outside looking in. Was there a second at all where you looked at this and you was like, oh, glad it wasn't a white?
That does happen.
I mean, let's keep it real. We on the block. You looked at it, no saying it said, thank God it wasn't a white cop this time.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you definitely it definitely is something that you look at when they're saying something like that's going on. Yeah, there is one of those like, oh, thank you. Not that it's any better that it was, but you just know that, you know, it always gets more traction.
Yep.
The narratives get more traction if it, like you were saying earlier, if it's you know, if they have that angle, if they have the black and white thing. You know, I looked for it today earlier because I heard a lot of people talking about it. I found some video. I think I was watching some live where he was leaning up like against the car, and they were all talking about it and sort of saying their alibis to each other. Oh, he went for my gun, and yeah. But you know, at one point I haven't actually saw the video that you're talking about where he's getting beat up. I just saw, I guess, the aftermath of it, and where the paramedic came in there and like they were all sort of standing around. That's the worst thing for me. I mean, aside from him getting beat down, which I didn't see, it's just everybody kind of just standing around. And, you know, obviously he's in some distress, but no, you know, this is, as far as what you're saying, it's the first details I've actually got on it. Like, I didn't realize he had got out of the car and ran. I didn't know any of that stuff. But
so just in your defense, not that you need it, not that I would defend a whitey, okay, because I don't need it. You got all the privilege in the world. But I'm just saying, in your defense, we all do that. Like when we hear like there was a mass shooting, or we all do that. Oh, I hope he wasn't black. Right. We all do that. It's like, please don't let him be black. Please don't let him be Latin. Please, we got enough heat on us, right? So we all do that. But I can imagine, you know, a white person who cares is gonna be like, glad it wasn't a white cop. That way I can go in Walmart and no one's giving me dirty looks. Right? Because that's what happens. And it's sad that we have to think that way because it's not even our fault. Media is going to promote that this person was Latin, this person was white, this person was black. Media is all about race. So it's not even our fault. It's not even our fault when we cringe, when we hear, oh, fuck it, you know, it was someone from my ethnic group or my race or whatever. So I did watch the video because I wanted to know what I was talking about. The video is an hour fucking long. I watched it for an hour. It was like literally, we watched the video for an hour. I'm not throwing it in my community section later because people keep asking me for it.
I couldn't find it. I mean, all I saw was
it's hard to find.
Snippets.
It's not easy to find. They give you clips, like you'll find a 5-minute one or an 8-minute one. I found the 1 hour one. And the way it's, because it's body cam and also surveillance video from one of the buildings that were adjacent, you get a bird's eye view, and then you get like up close personal, you know, point of view, and you feel like you're in it. Like once you like you're 15, 20 minutes in, you feel like you're a cop standing there because the cameras, you know what I mean, are and everything. So for anyone who hasn't seen the video, I can briefly describe it. You know, I could tell a story, right? Basically, they were on him. Allegedly, they're saying he was doing some suspicious driving. But they pulled him over. He was calm at first, like, whoa, really? Like, what's going on? He even said to them, you guys are doing too much. Like, really? Like, what is this? What was interesting was the cops were so amped up, right? And you know how whenever something like this happens, the quote unquote suspect is like, well, find out if they were high or they were on cocaine. I'd like the cops to get tested. I'd like the cops to get tested because let me tell you, they were so hyper. I mean, they were jacked and amped. And these guys, it looked like you're watching football and they are going after that football and the whole team is on it. It was bizarre to me. And that's the word that I used on Facebook because I did a post about it. It was bizarre to me, right? To watch kind of like and be in it. So he took off. They're calling back up. He's running down, blah, blah, blah. Supposedly he was running towards his mom's house because he lived 3 blocks. His mom was 3 blocks down from the incident. So supposedly he was running towards his mother's house. They catch up to him. I mean, when I tell you that they beat this boy to a pulp, like it's hard to watch, but we watch so much murder, so much death online that it's like, well, let me watch this. I mean, I didn't go through it. At least I could do is watch it for him in a weird way. That's how I feel. Like a lot of people are like, I can't watch it. It's too traumatic. I'm like, he went through it. I didn't go through it. So I can watch it, right? Not to say if you can't watch something, just don't fucking watch it. But I wanted to watch it because I wanted to be able to talk about it and know what I was talking about and know the impact and the gravity of it, right? They beat him down. What was interesting was he was not complying, right? And the more he didn't comply, the more vicious they got. Like vicious, right? Like if I were in their position and you have to get rough with a suspect, I would stop, like, because I don't want to kill anybody.
Right.
But it looked like they didn't have that. Like they were completely like, it is go time. There is no pause. We're going to break this dude limb from limb. And when I tell you, they ground pounded this man. And he's skinny. This isn't a big guy. Okay? He's skinny. I think they said 140 something. He's
damn. That's so light.
He's a skinny guy. So they're pounding him out. It was such a melee. One of the cops maced himself, and now he's running around in pain because he's maced. Another cop looked like he dislocated his ankle, and then he's limping around for the rest of the video.
I saw that guy. Yeah,
he looked hurt bad, and you could tell he was hurt bad. But he was like, "I gotta stay in it. I gotta keep my game face on." One of the cops got maced. He couldn't see. They're putting water. It was a melee. Like you would think they were fighting 5 other guys. They were just fighting the one, just the one. And
yeah, and they had the white manager with the water bottle pouring the water. Yeah. It was like a fight with the white manager in the corner. Go get him. Get in there.
It was right. Like get back in there. What are you doing? Keep your head in the game. Yeah. And the thing is, when I say he didn't comply, I mean, this is what I mean by he didn't comply, right? I mean, he wasn't cooperating with putting his hands behind his back, right, laying down flat. That doesn't mean he was fighting them. He wasn't fighting them. He wasn't like, I'm swinging back. If you swing at me, I'm going to swing back at you. If you kick me, I'm going to kick you. He wasn't complying in the sense of, I'm not laying still for y'all, right? I don't want people to think that he was fighting them back and swinging at them and kicking, because he wasn't. He was just like, I'm not staying still for y'all. Like, if you're going to put cuffs on me, it's going to be hard. And I'm not laying flat. I'm not going to do it. So it was that type of movement, right? When you watch it, it wasn't like, well, I'm fighting y'all. It was like, no, I'm not going to lay still for y'all, right? And that's what made me wonder if this is what I was wondering. Is he autistic? Is he mentally ill? Or is he on drugs? Those are the three things that cross my mind, right? And we're having this conversation, and I don't want anyone seething like, it doesn't matter. I know it doesn't fucking matter, but this is what's going to happen in court, whether you like it or not, right? Whether you like it or not. The autopsy hasn't been released yet, but I would say if I was a betting girl, I would bet that he had something in his system, only because of how it looked to me like he couldn't grasp. They are trying to kill you. You should maybe lay still, right? Where someone who has all their faculties, right, and they're mentally straight, you're gonna stop after the way he was stomped, maced, tased. You are going to stop because in your mind you're like, I don't want to get hurt anymore. So your natural reaction is to comply, and it's like, you got me. We've all been, you know what I mean, arrested. Some of us at gunpoint, we've been cuffed. I've been there, done that. And you chill the fuck out because you don't want to get shot, right? But he looked like nope. So that's what makes me think. I was like, either he's autistic or he suffers from mental illness, or maybe he's on something, because it didn't look like a normal person getting their ass beat. Like he didn't have it. I didn't see fear in him. I saw like, get the fuck off me. Like, get off me. Like, get off me. Get away from me. Get off me. Just get off me. And I saw him go down only because it looked like his body couldn't take it anymore. When I saw him finally collapse, it looked like his body just gave up. It didn't even look like, okay, I'll comply, you guys. It looked like my body can't take it no more. I don't know if you saw this part in the video, but he was handcuffed, and he had two guys flanking him, the cops, and he was kind of wobbly, and another cop was just like, boom.
Oh my.
Boom, while he was handcuffed.
Oh man.
So his face was completely open, and you just see his head go to the left and to the right, and the dude is just like, boom. Like, I'm talking about like the way you hit a heavy bag in a gym.
Right.
Hungry. And then now he's on the ground, and then he got this guy coming with the baton, beating him with the baton, looking for an opening and beating him with the baton. Then he got another guy coming from this side, beating him in the back with the baton. Like, they demolished him. So when you watch the video in its entirety, you're like, of course he died. Of course he died. How are you going to survive that? And then insult to injury and just cruelty, inhumane. This man, now he's out. He's still conscious. He's on the floor now. Cold, concrete, messed up, leaning. And they're commanding him to sit up. They're commanding him to sit up. And he's trying. He's still like out of it, and I can imagine he's listening to the commands. They're like, sit up, and he's handcuffed, bloody, beat to a pulp, and he's still trying to, like, you know what I mean, hold himself up. It is horrific. And the aftermath, to watch the cops congregate and embellish what happened. Yeah, did you? He put his hand on the gun. Did you see that? He ran. He's strong, man. He's strong. Like, you see the corruption in real time. It was so crazy. You see the corruption in real time. Like, you see them trying to get their stories together, and everybody's body cam is on. And I was like, holy fuck, we're like watching corruption in real time.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's covering their asses, right? Did you see he reached for my gun? You saw it. Did you?
Right. That's the part I saw when they were all, yeah, that's some of the clips I saw was that.
They're laughing and they're talking about how strong he is. And it's like, you know, they look like football players after they won a game, or like hunters congratulating each other for getting that very hard kill.
Right.
That's what it looked like to me. And I was like, holy fuck, we're like watching this happen. On that note, let me bring up, hello, Damien. How are you, darling?
I'm good. How y'all doing?
Hey.
Really good. So,
Man, I've been
Did you
having this
see it
conversation all
all
day
day?
with people.
All day. We've all been having this conversation all day. And you know what's funny, Damien? I wasn't going to touch this because I was like, I can't do it. I didn't touch the Keenan. Was his last name Anderson? I don't want to get it wrong. The
I
one right
don't.
before this one that died.
Yeah, he died from the taser. The
Yeah.
taser death. Yeah. I don't
Then
remember his last name. Yeah.
I don't remember his last name. I know his first name is Keenan. So I
Yeah.
didn't touch that one because I'm like, it's just, I hate feeling like people are controlling what I'm doing. And I think the media purposely does this, right? And then we react and then they do it. And I don't like feeling like I'm on a hamster wheel. But this case, it's so brutal and it's so brazen. Like these cops look like they look like the cops like from the 70s or the 80s in New York City. Like they look like they've never seen any corruption. This is the first time and they're going to try to go all out. Like they didn't give a rat's damn about a body cam, surveillance videos. They were like, we going for broke.
I mean, this is funny because I remember, I think you brought up earlier about like people are trying to like draw the comparison with George Floyd and all that kind of stuff like that. I think these things, two different things were dramatically different. George Floyd died because somebody had reckless disregard for his life. They didn't see him as a person. They saw him as a suspect, and he was a non-person when they murdered him. When they put a knee on his neck and he couldn't breathe, everything they weren't hearing what he was saying because he was a non-person. They didn't see him as a non-person. This is different. They saw Tyree as a person. They saw as a person, and they wanted to hurt him. He was not. He wasn't bending. He wasn't to their authority. He wasn't doing what they said, and they said, "Oh, we gonna kick your motherfucking ass." They call. I don't know how many times they called him motherfucker. I'm gonna baton the fuck out of you. This motherfucker didn't get arrested. He got jumped. I've seen many of motherfuckers jump people in the hood. This motherfucker got jumped. And the funny thing is, when we were watching that overhand cam, and I was like, that was the most disturbing part for me. I was almost like that city councilman who like kind of broke down on TV. I knew what was gonna happen because I seen dudes jump dudes, and it was proceeding exactly like that. I was like, that motherfucker right there gonna kick him in the face. Kicked him in the face twice. I was
Yep.
like, when he stood him up, and I was like, this motherfucker's about to square off, and like he was just throwing, and he even admitted I was throwing haymakers at this motherfucker, talking like dudes in the hood talk when they beating somebody ass, beating the op
Yes.
ass.
Yes. Like you forget that you're looking at police officers. Like I wasn't
Yeah,
even thinking that when I was watching. I was like, oh, there's a guy. We've seen it in the hood. We've seen people get jumped. We've got
yeah,
jumped. Like you see it. And I was like, I wasn't even thinking cops at that point. The
nope,
language, the way they was like, I'm gonna stomp him. When we get him, we gonna stomp his that like they're saying what they're gonna do when they catch him.
yeah,
I was
yep.
like, what am I watching right now?
It was like my arm. They're like, fuck your arm. They were talking like I swear to God, like you said, it wasn't like there was cops. This was a gang jumping a op. That's what it was. He was their op, and he had the audacity to walk up on their set, and he was getting his ass curb stomped. That's what it was. The arrest was the after effect.
Right.
And then there's a certain thing that I think police do that is the most despicable part of it. And don't get me wrong, I'm not one of those fuck the police, hate the police. My mother actually was a civilian supervisor of police in San Francisco for
Right.
quite a
Right.
while.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those, they sit up there and they, like you were saying, they strategize instead of getting this man some EMS, instead of having a EMS on site. They strategize on how to protect their asses. When the bloodlust kind of subsided, and it was like, oh shit, we got patches and shit. Oh
Right.
fuck, we got cameras on us and shit. Like you said, the story starts to try to formulate. When the sergeant come over, they start to formulate the story, you know, and
And it
that's
was
what
funny
happened.
because they were like, did you see he had his hand on my gun? Did you see? Right. And they're all like, right. Did you see? Yeah. Did you? Yeah. And I'm like, no, we saw it.
Yeah.
We saw it.
Yep.
It's like they forget the body cams are on.
Yeah.
I don't know. I watched the whole hour. Did you watch the whole hour?
I watched the 30 minutes of clip of actual. Yeah, I watched 30 minutes of it.
My goodness. So now I want to veer just a little bit because let's go into the whole race thing.
Yep.
Right. Let's go into the race thing. My take on it earlier is probably a take that you haven't heard before. Maybe you have, right? We've had people up here, without naming names, we've had people up here blame the white man for everything. Even when Black people act a certain type of way, it was because they had us on a slave plantation and Jim Crow, and that's why we're not naturally like this. We're not, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, this guy had posted that on Facebook today, and I was like, dude, like, we're not naturally savages. And but I was like, here's the thing, right? I think that this case, specifically this case, shows something that a lot of people are going to ignore. It shows that someone with your complexion can be just as much as a savage as you claim white people are, or people of other ethnicities or races. But people don't want to hear that. They're like, no, we weren't meant to be like this. We are peaceful people from Africa. No, even in Africa, they were different tribes. Like Africans aren't a monolith, right? None of us are a monolith. That tribe was probably a bunch of banshees. This tribe was probably docile people, loving people. And similarly, in America, we're all different. We're all different. But when people say, because I've already seen it, they're diverting to, well, they were showing out for the white cop. That's why they were doing that. They were showing out for the white cops. So I'm like, it never crosses your mind that sometimes a Black person does what the fuck they want to do because the fuck they wanted to do it. Because they wanted to do it. So, yeah. But that's something that's going to be ignored. So now it's like, let's divert. No, it wasn't even because of them. It was because they were trying to impress the white cop. Had it not been for them impressing the white cop, X, Y, and Z wouldn't have happened. And I'm like, did you see the video?
I'm like, where was the white cop? I didn't see the white cop. Where was he at? On the walkie-talkie? I didn't see him. Where was he at?
Was he putting water in somebody's eyes?
That's the
that was after. He came after.
Yeah, that was after. Yes. Yeah, that was after.
He came after. Yeah. And I said, let me tell you something. If there was a white cop at the scene, that motherfucker would have been scared. He would have been scared because the way those guys jumped on that boy, and I say boy because he's 29. I have a child that age. That is a child to me. The way they jumped on him, the white cop was like, yo, I'll get you some water. I don't want nothing to do. I don't want nothing to do with this. This shit look crazy.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was astounding to me. I was just like, and the funny thing was, it was like, not funny how, but the like, in the metaphorically funny was thing was like, dude, it's like you said, a lot of people will be like, see, it's not a racist thing. It's not a racist thing. So it's a cop thing. And you know what? I don't know. I think I'm inclined to believe that because I believe that there are some great cops out there, but I think there is this asshole quality that cops have. They're the bullies There's the bullies of high school who want to hold on to that authority. And when this brother was like, nah, I'm not going to bend to your authority, they was like, oh, I'm gonna show you who has the power in this situation.
Yeah, I was gonna say that about it becomes their own tribe. When they say they're the badge, the blue, and all that they're their own tribe, and they're gonna try to protect their own gang, whatever you want to say, their own tribe, their own gang, and they're gonna stick together. I remember I was giving a lady an Uber ride, and it was a Black woman, and she had something to do with I don't know if it was, she might have been a lawyer for all I know, but we were talking about it, and we were talking about the cops in New Orleans. Now, the cops in New Orleans are not paid well. Now they're stressed because there's not enough of them. But a lot of them, we had a lot of them were Black or African American cops, and she said that they enforce white supremacy. We were talking about that, we were talking about that, and that in some and they are just as bad as the white cops, basically, when it comes to, and I don't know if it's because you get jaded or you're constantly in that stress mode that you just finally, everybody else is the enemy. But you're right, Damien, as far as like, there's very few cops that you have, if you get pulled over, that don't have some kind of asshole attitude, and I want to tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
With all this TV that's been playing the last, all these years with the cops tasing people and shooting people in their car, I got pulled over and it was on the street. It was not well lit. And I made sure my hands were on the steering wheel and did not make a move, because I was like, because you got to go in your glove compartment to get your registration and all that. And I was just like, waiting for him to shine a light in there, because I didn't want to be mistaken, because I mean, you just, everybody's on edge. Cops are on edge. But this situation, I mean, I don't know. On your title, did it say that they're gonna be tried? Did they get?
Oh yeah, they're all bonded out. They got arrested and then they all bonded out.
So how fast did they get arrested? Because how long? I'm just hearing about it today. How long ago did this take place?
This was January 7th, right?
Yeah. I think it was a couple of weeks after that. What police have to do is they have to weigh their culpability, weigh their liability, weigh how culpable they are to litigation and any criminal prosecution. So they have to say, okay, we clear. Okay, we can arrest them. They talk to the lawyers and they talk to the stewards, the shop steward, the police stewards and stuff. They talk to internal affairs and they just say, okay, what is our exposure? And they have to make sure their exposure doesn't and how it plays to the media. And then they go and do what they need to do.
So I wanted to, and for the record, I did invite some police up here today, but they don't want to touch it yet. It's too hot. Plus, they're still on the job. So I'll see if I can get somebody retired up here when we revisit. Totally understandable. I'm not trying to jeopardize anybody's. I wanted to go back to the culture of the police department, right? Because there is unmistakably, there's a culture to it, right? So that's why it doesn't matter. Not all cops are bad. That doesn't matter, right? It's very similar to when people talk about the manosphere. Well, I'm not this part. Once a culture is formed, right? The culture of that thing rules it. It doesn't matter if you're one of the nice guys in the manosphere, because you're in a culture and in a tribe, right? That if you just one of the nice guys, you're one of the nice guys. I've run into nice cops before.
Me too.
I've run into, oh my God, I'm talking about really nice cops. You couldn't, I've cursed them out, like, blah, 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 and they're like, whatever, I'm eating my sandwich, and I'm really good friends with that guy today, right? But he was so, like, cool. He was like, all right, whatever. And, I wasn't, like, bitching for no reason. I was having an issue with one of my neighbors, and she was always calling the cops or whatever. And I'm like, this lady's crazy, and she has, like, 4 pit bulls, and you guys come here, and you don't do anything about it. And he's like, well, okay. I mean, and he was eating his sandwich in the car. So years later, we're still really good friends. But, that was an example of, I'm not going to match your energy. I'm just going to chill. Like any other cop, he would have puffed up, because that's the culture of the department. And let me tell you something interesting that happened to me. I did a gig where I was in a police uniform, in a real police uniform, because I was working with another police officer, and he brought me a uniform from where they get their uniform. So it looked legit. I take a break. I walk to the side of the set, and I'm just standing out there in middle Manhattan, got the hat on, the police uniform. People look at you like you are the enemy. Now, mind you, it wasn't a big set. So if you're just a pedestrian, you're walking by me, I look like a cop.
Yes.
I was just standing there leaning up against the pole. People look at you differently and you feel it. And I was like, it was literally like, well, put yourself in my shoes. It was literally that. I'm standing there. I got the uniform on. I'm waiting until they come back around the corner and call me. And people are walking by and looking at me like you're wearing all white, except you're wearing a uniform. So you couple that, right, with the culture, people already looking at you funny, like, oh, you one of them. And then you couple that with the culture, the good old boys club. I mean, it's Tornado Volcano, and they are the biggest gang. I mean, in New York City, that's what they say, the biggest gang.
Yeah. It's funny because like I was watching this thing and they were saying they was like, oh, all not all cops are not saying not are bad, like I said earlier. But if you got one bad cop and five bad cops who don't say shit, you got six bad cops. That's what you got. Like so I'm saying, if like you said, that culture has that code of silence where you can't sit there, and if you do, your career is over. Nobody's going to respect you. Nobody's going to work with you. Your life may be in danger in dangerous situations. They may not help you. So I mean, you risking it all to do what you swore to do. I mean, you take oaths, you get training, you get paid while you're doing these things, unless you put yourself to the police academy. But most of the time, you get hired on, you get paid to do these things, to learn how to manage your temper and de-escalate situations, and how to keep yourself apart from the bullshit. And then I guess you need more training because people just revert back to their true nature when the shit starts getting tough.
And think about it. You already know that you're part of a system that all you got to do is get in a radio and 50 dudes will show up for you.
Yeah.
Power, armed, and ready to whoop ass.
Yep.
It ain't like one uncle and a cousin's coming. A whole gang. You get on that radio, a whole gang is coming. They're all armed and they're all ready to whoop ass. Who said it? Who
Yep.
did?
Yep.
That's powerful.
And they have that. What is that thing called? It's a term for it. You can't sue them. They can't be held liable. Something I forgot what it's called. There's a term they're trying to get rid of. There's a thing that cops have, and if somebody in the chat knows what it is, please put it up there. Where you it takes a lot to sue a cop for anything, and I forgot what it's called. Hopefully somebody will hear this and like know what it's called. But they're trying to get rid of that, so cops have to be held more accountable, because if you know you can get away with certain things, you're gonna do certain things.
Of course. Hit that like for me, you guys. Hit that like and subscribe if you're here for the first time. What do you think about this comment here? Because I call cap. I think people use it conveniently. Love says, Jen, it's about the blue gang, not racism. But had he been white, had those 5 cops been white, the streets in Memphis would have been burnt to the ground right now.
Yep.
I don't believe that is just the blue gang. I think race is a huge factor, because had those 5 cops been white, Memphis would have been in flames right now while we're up here.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't think race would have been was a fact, like you said, in the beating itself. But I think what it is, like you said, it was the reaction, the response would have been different. But I think what happens is, and I remember a couple of days I was on a panel going back with Chocolate. It was like, and that's what my worry is like, if those black cops were in a white neighborhood, would the response have been the same?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Would they have beat a white dude to death? Had the response been the same? I can't say that I believe that they would. I don't think they would have.
I don't think they would have. I don't think, I'm just speculating, but I don't think they would have did a white man like that.
Nope.
I don't think
so that's what I'm saying. Inherently, we are the most dangerous, put out in society, we are considered the most dangerous people walking the earth. Black men are created for every reason. But we are considered, if there is a black man in your vicinity, you have to have a heightened awareness of possible danger.
Wait, but I don't think that was relevant in this case, though. Like, I don't think those cops, I'm just saying, I don't think those cops were like, yo, we pulling over one of the most dangerous beings on the planet, a black man. I think them cops were out to whoop ass.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, the reason that goes to my first asked question about if it had been a white guy. I don't think they would have seen. Well, they probably wouldn't have demanded the respect. They wouldn't have taken the disrespect so hard to where they really want to hurt him and beat him the fuck up like they did. The non-compliance is such a high level of disrespect. I think, but in the situation is, I think cops in general see black men as dangerous. we're for some reason bigger, stronger, faster in a lot of cops' mind. And that could be black and white cops who consider us like a threat off rip because we consider non-compliant, combative, we may be high on drugs.
But let's go there, though. Thank you for the super chat, Don Levon. Don Levon says qualified immunity.
Yeah, that's what it's called. Yeah.
My show be so smart. Everybody be on it.
And I'm not sure if I think cops should be prosecuted like in situations like this. But if you're saying for lawsuits, the only problem I see with lawsuits is because I know how lawsuits work in this town. Like right now, we got the lawyers coming in. If I was getting hit by an Uber driver, because Uber drivers have $1 million policies, for their and so I could just see the lawyers totally. And I don't know, man. I think qualified immunity. I think what they're talking about there is, I don't think that's lawsuits, though, is it?
Well, Jen, you want to look it up and read it out, or I could look it up and read it. We probably got more access to it. Let's see whoever gets to it first.
I'm gonna let you up, but if you come up here and get long-winded, I'm gonna mute your mic, buddy. I'll tell you right, because we love our family from London. You come up here being long-winded, long-winded ass.
Is it Mr. T or Simon?
It's Simon. I bet Simon.
It's our other London guy. Did you get it, Damien?
Oh no. Let me pull it up. I thought that's what you. Hold on a second. Let me pull it up here.
I do want to explore what you said, Damien, and this is where people may get sensitive, but I want to explore what you said after you find that. Qualified immunity. Now you got me curious.
Okay, qualified immunity is a legal principle that grants government officials performing discretionary functions immunity from civil suits unless the plaintiff shows that the official violate clearly established statutory or constitutional rights which a person would have known. So yeah,
you're right. But if they get rid of that, man, that's gonna be.
Yeah, if they know I can sue you personally, because cops don't get sued personally, the department gets sued. Yeah. And the cops don't have to pay anything. They pay into that from their pay goes into like in case other cops are getting sued.
I need your Mr. T, Tony. I need your face. I'm not talking to avatars. I'm not doing it. So go get your lip gloss, pull your hair back, do what you got to do. I'm not doing that.
Get off your stomach.
Get off your stomach. Donovan said for decades, qualified immunity has protected police officers and other government officials from being held accountable when they violate people's constitutional rights. Dane, let's get sticky icky. Okay. Let's get sticky icky. You and I both know the streets.
Yeah.
The bad and the ugly. If I was a cop where I grew up, the South Bronx, I'm gonna think the Latins and Blacks are the worst motherfuckers in that neighborhood, and I'm gonna be on guard every time I roll up on y'all because I know how fucking dirty and grimy you all are. Okay, you're in this fucking neighborhood. 9 times out of 10, you're gonna be a fucking problem. And look, I'm not even in uniform yet, and I don't even have my cop gang friends to back me up. But that's already my attitude. So do you think when you say, well, we already get this stereotype of we're stronger, we're faster, we're doing this, we're up to something, is that not 9 times out of 10 the case in certain areas? Now, with that said, if I was policing in Baldwin Hills, California, which is the Black Beverly Hills of California, I'm not going to have that attitude. When I pull a man or a woman over, it's going to be different.
Yeah, I think it is. It is a socioeconomic thing as well. It's like like poor black men are considered. Poor black men are considered vastly more dangerous than poor white cats. Like let's just say you're a cop and I'm a cop in Appalachia, where some broke ass poor white people doing meth, or on the Indian reservation. The sense of danger and the sense of impending danger and the heightened sense of awareness of everything may not be as high because historically you just don't view a white meth dealer or white, like let's just say a biker gang or whatever, even if they're a biker gang, they're viewed with a certain amount of their whole bikers are romanticized instead of, oh my God, you cool, you got the legend. They got show Son of Anarchy where biker gangs are fucking romanticized and they're killing people. And it's just like, so I don't think that we have that. Broke black people don't have the luxury of being romanticized in the media. It's just danger. Be aware.
50 Cent's working on it. Look at BMF.
Well, yeah, I guess.
BMF.
I guess so, but historically,
he's doing.
but the cops ain't watching BMF. The white, they're watching Son of Anarchy.
And if I roll up on a biker gang, I'm gonna be on extra alert. That's like I would be. That's for damn sure.
It's viewed in a different light. It's viewed in a less threatening, less combative light.
This is what and just you're right, but I think you can every once in a while you'll see videos like you saw that video where it's a cop, a traffic stop, and he's talking to the white guy, and the white guy pulls out a gun and starts firing at him and kills him because he's not on edge. He's
not on his gun. He's not doing anything.
Yeah, and he ends up getting himself killed because of that attitude as well. But yeah, I listen, the news, just like Jen is saying, they're constantly playing to people's emotions, and if you live in a place where the majority of poverty is centered in people of color's community, that's what you're going to see on the news, the people doing the crimes. Has nothing to do with it. Like you said, it's more social economic, but you get that played like where I live, that's all you see. So of course that's on your psyche when you're walking down the street. But like I say, I'll say that if I see a motorcycle gang, I'm probably ducking too. But it's definitely that kind of stuff is definitely played to us. And yeah, it's a prejudge. It's definitely a prejudge that's been programmed into a lot of people.
House of Matrix. Well, I didn't say that they didn't. He said, I disagree, Jen. Even good neighborhoods, black people and brown people still get discriminated. Of course they do. I said what I would do. I said how I would handle policing because I come from those neighborhoods. So if I rolled up on Tito or Tyrone, I already know it's going to be a fucking problem because I know the neighborhoods, right? So I'm just talking about how I would police. I know in good neighborhoods, if someone is racist, they're going to be racist in Beverly Hills, South Bronx. If they look at you a certain way because you got melanin, South Bronx or Beverly Hills, you're a problem to them. I was just talking about how I would police, where I would be on edge, right? And a lot of these cops are in these neighborhoods, right? Yeah. They go to their nice little condo. So cops make a decent amount of money. They get to go to their little condo or whatever. And then they're policing in the hood. So anything in a hoodie is a potential problem or danger. Welcome, Tony. Let me pass the mic to you. How are you, sir?
Yes. How are you guys? Hope you're well over there. How are you, my brother? I'm sitting up. I'm not lying on my stomach.
That's my
no
man.
light skin behavior tonight.
My man.
Yeah. It's good to see you guys. No, I mean, there's a lot about this over here. It's front page news. It's dominated headlines, really? And it's quite big. The interesting thing is, the English media are more, they love to throw a bit of psychology in there, and what you're getting, well, not so much, well, the media, and what you do get is the angle of, see, it's black cops. You know what I mean? Like Rodney King was, 5 or 6. Caucasian police officers who obviously did what they did. Now, in this instance, it's black cops now, so it's a different dynamic. It throws that dynamic, doesn't it? If you see what I mean. So, are we saying the police are intrinsically racist? But hold on, they can't be because 5 black guys have just taken the life of an innocent black man in America. So that kind of throws the ball. And not to get too deep or be long-winded, but another angle to look at is, people are saying, I mean, you may have touched on this before, but people are saying, where Black Lives Matter? Does his life matter? And they're spinning that angle as well. You know what I mean? So there's a lot there to look at. You know what I mean? But one thing I will say, sorry?
I said this is layered. This one is layered.
Yes, exactly. It's very layered. It's very
literally, figuratively. It's not black and white.
Yeah, exactly. It's blue. It's blue. It's blue. But one very interesting thing, yeah, and I noticed this about the police here and the police in the States, yeah. This is where it gets even more tricky, yeah, layered as you say. It's like when say like in any of you guys' neighborhoods, yeah, a black person joins the police force and they do quite well. They go up through the ranks. People see it as an achievement, yeah, right? But I've always wondered, why isn't that black person seen as like, a sellout or anything like that? Because it's a grey area, but you have a black person, whether in the States or the UK, joins the police force, goes all the way up to the top, yeah, and they're seen as, thank you, as they say in America, thank you for your service, yeah. I get that, but haven't they gone to the top in a racist organization? Haven't they like overseen but turned a blind eye when black men get beaten up or shot or hit? Because don't forget, this is this has probably gone on, but the difference is it's only being filmed now, as they say. So these are things that are worth considering.
It's curious that that's a very poignant question that you asked. It's like I feel like say if you grew up in my hood, like you go to Oakland or whatever, and you decide you're a police officer, you come up to police lieutenant and then captain, whatever. I think what black people are, it's kind of like a wait and see, we shall see kind of mentality. It's like, are you going to be one who advocates for the community that you grew up in? Or are you going to be one of the people who kind of make sure people are treating the people fairly? Or are you going to be one of the people who are self-serving, who exacerbates the problem by trying to point out or be twice as hard on the black people in the community?
Exactly.
Twice as hard. It's a wait and see kind of game. It's like we will give you the benefit of the doubt, but unfortunately, most of the time, a lot of people in the community feel like you don't have our best interest because number one, there's not enough of you to affect any real change, or you're just you're more worried about your career, trying to move up the ladder, trying to get to the next promotion, trying to get to chief, and then you can go to another city that's going to pay you more, that kind of situation.
Yeah, I mean, it's very interesting. I mean, you can compare the two. I mean, the police over here are seen as very institutional. This is the difference. I think the police here are seen as institutionally racist. What I mean by that is like, you have police officers, but they can only go so far. Whereas in America, and I've always believed this, you have police chiefs at the top, don't you? For example, in some states. So with the police, you can go further. I mean, there's no barriers. That's one thing I've observed when you compare the two countries. But yeah, I mean, you raise a good point there. Is the person self-serving? Are they going to be the black cop? I mean, don't forget the famous scene in Boys in the Hood when he gets the gun to the guy's neck.
Yeah. And he was harder on the brothers than the white guy.
Trey starts swinging.
He was harder, like you said. Like, people are saying, like he was harder on him because he had to show that he was a part of the gang. So and that's another thing. If you are viewed as not having the best interest of the police, then you really don't progress that high. I can imagine that your evals aren't as stellar, those kind of things, because you're getting all these people bad talking. You're seen as a problem in your department. If other people are not willing to work with you because they're suspect of you being on their side, you being a part of the thin blue line, So it's a crazy situation, and I think you can please correct me if I'm wrong, but over where you are, they may not be as litigious. They're so happy here, so they have to make sure that I think the police departments have to really watch their ass when it comes to the community trying to sue them all the time. So they have, like I was saying in my earlier statement, they have to take the time to kind of get their shit together and see what's their culpability in this shit. I don't know if they do that same shit in the UK where they're just that hypersensitive to lawsuits and bad press.
It's easier to sue in America. I think with you guys, it's more of a predominant thing. I mean, here there's stages of a like appeal. Then you have to go outside the organization to sue. Like, you know, if you were to sue the police, you have to go to go through a process. Then it goes to arbitration, and from there they'll uphold it. And if they do uphold it, meaning if they do think you have a valid case and it's a strong case, then you can obviously go then get solicitors and lawyers and then put in a case to sue the police. You know.
Well, what you
so
said, Tony, what you said about the media over there and what they're saying, these are the things that bother me, because people are going to take this incident and they're going to see it like you said. Oh, well, it was 5 black cops. So now all the people that were saying the cops aren't racist, when in some cases they were racist, are going to say, well, there you go, there you see it, and they take that narrative and they say,
exactly.
How can it be that? I hate that. And on the other end, like Damien's saying, like on the other end, it's going to be, well, he's showing out for the white man or whatever. It's like, because it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit their narrative. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And the worst thing is people can actually extend that and spin that, because don't forget there were 5 officers. You know, so there's 5 officers, 1 black guy, and it's like, you know, they're in their own space. There's no, there's 1 white officer, I think, but he wisely did not get involved.
Yeah, he came later. He came later. When the cars came, he came later.
Yeah.
Him and it was a white guy and a white woman police officer. I think they were partners.
If that white cop was going to get in, he probably saw, oh, these guys handled it. I'm going to
exactly. Yeah.
What was sad was it was really sad to me that there were so many people at the scene, and you know, it's like watching, you know, our favorite movies. Like, I still watch Carlito's Way, and I'm like, Carlito, they're gonna come shoot you. Like, get out of it. And I've watched it a million times. When I watched that video, I'm like, nobody. All you needed was 1 person to say, chill.
Mm-hmm.
Just one voice, somebody from a window, a neighbor, one of the cops. You just needed 1 person to say, that's enough. Like, nobody.
Did you see this one video where it was this female cop, this little female cop, and this big huge like white cop was like, I guess, beating on the subject, and she was like, sir. She like pulls him and he grabs her by the neck.
He's like, don't you ever.
Yeah, and I did see that. I was just like, see, that's what happens if you try to step in. And I'm willing to bet, had it not been on video, he would have gave her a bad write-up, a bad review. And it would have negatively impacted her career. So, I mean, it's just
about Black Atheist Rants. I see you back there. I would love to have you on this panel. I need your face though, because I wanted to talk to you anyway about another stream. Can we see your face? Can you cam up for me? What do you feel about what I saw? It looked like he was on something or off some kind of way.
He probably was drunk.
You think he was drunk, or
I don't know. He may have been. But the funny thing is, when they were getting their stories, like, did you find this shit? Oh, he must have threw it when he was running.
And I'm not even saying that because of them. Fuck the cops, right?
Yeah.
I'm saying that because I don't know if you heard earlier, but I was telling No Saint, I was like, he didn't look like, you know, like a regular person who's not high. They get painted out that bad, they're gonna stop. Because you don't want to get hurt no more. You're like, I don't want these motherfuckers to hit me no more. But
I don't know.
Wouldn't stop.
I'm gonna tell you, like, No Saint and I have both been in the military, both in the Air Force.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if this has happened to you, but it's happened to me when I've had 4 TIs, which is like the jury lights, yelling at me, 1 in front of me, 2 on the side, 1 in the back, all telling me to do shit. Right. They're like, you know, get in your bearings, blah blah blah, and I don't know what to do. I'm like, what the fuck? I don't know what to do. Who should I listen to? They got 5 people yelling at me. What the fuck do I do? And then they're hurting him on the side of it. Of course, he's like, I need to just get out of here so I can figure out what to think. Because I know being on shit probably exacerbates the situation, but that right there, I can understand. He was just like, I need to get out of here because I don't know what the fuck is going on. I don't know if I am in danger because I don't know what I'm doing right and I don't know what I'm doing wrong. So let me get out of here. Let me clear my head. And then get out of the situation, because you saw 4 people yelling at you at the same time, and it's always a different command. I don't know why they don't tap you like, hey, Johnson, you the one who's gonna be yelling at him to do shit. That way he understands.
I would
Because
help.
if 5 people are, get down, put your hand behind your back, stop resisting. That's like, you're like, which do I do first? And in what order? And then it fluctuates. Being in that situation is different. Like I remember, I've never been put, but I can understand. Like if 4 cops are pull me over, it would be the same thing as when those 4 TIs was yelling at me at the same time. You don't know what the fuck to do, and you want to get out of the situation and clear your fucking mind so you can think right.
Okay, fair enough. Hit that like for me, you guys. Y'all are watching. I got double the lurkers and half the likes. Tyre suffered from Crohn's disease, so he was skinny as hell. He was pepper sprayed, so couldn't help moving around. Those cops went way over, and the guy had no chance.
I mean, you saw how they were reacting when they got like some passive pepper spray. They were like, they got shot. They sprayed him in the face. I said either they couldn't tell him if it was 3 or 5 times directly in his face. And of course, you're gonna put your hands up here to try to wipe your eyes because your eyes are fucking burning out of your skull.
Yeah, and like to your point, not so he's got that going on. Those senses are he's can't breathe, and you got people yelling at different commands. You don't know what to do. I agree with them on that point. I mean, like when you
it's possible. I'm just I'm everything out there.
Yeah,
and then if you throw out that, who knows, maybe he had something to drink. Who knows? Who knows? But that's all just side dressing to the fact. And I'm very happy to hear that these guys got arrested. And I'm very happy to see recently that some of these guys are going to jail that are doing these things, because that's what it's going to take. Is you got to be held accountable when you do that, when you take somebody's life. I just think that many people are jaded in that job. I think they're jaded, and they see people as the enemy, and they don't see those people as, maybe having a bad day.
Cops versus everybody.
The funny thing is, in the cop, if you take 100 cops, you got 20 of them who are seasoned, just ready to retire. They just counting the days so they can get the fuck out. You probably got another 50 of them who are good cops, want to do the job, want to serve and protect. Then you got another 10% that's like slacking off. They're trying to get away with everything. And then you got 2 who just want to hurt people, who want to show that they're tough, who are assholes, who want to impose their will on people to make them feel better because whatever life didn't give them, they want to take out on somebody else. So that's usually the makeup of the cop situation. And unfortunately, those 20 cops, the 20%, are doing such egregious shit that it colors the whole bag. It spoils the whole shit.
I want to shout out really quickly Lily. She has to go to bed because she's traveling at the crack of ass. She has a gig to do, and also Haran DeMarco. What's up, fam?
Safe travels, Sam.
Yeah, he said, touching down, great topic per usual. People are in a tailspin. Our confirmation bias regarding racism is being challenged. What do you think about that?
It is. I mean, seriously, there's like white society is sitting back wanting to see how this shit unfolds. They're saying, okay, if they get off, you're gonna burn your neighborhood down. Like, they're like, oh, those protests were pretty peaceful. Nobody burned anybody. Nobody did anything. But on the other side, there wasn't as much opposition from them protesting. It was not, there wasn't. But it was allowed. Just what it say. But that's what I'm saying. They're just kind of waiting to see. Okay, if y'all don't react exactly the same way, then y'all on that bullshit, and y'all lost your stance has lost all credibility.
And there will always be a way around.
Who that? Who talking?
Somebody got noise in that background. That's whole house up in the party over there. Don Levon said, has Black Lives Matter showed up? Well, I spoke about Black Lives Matter earlier, but they have a whole other case because the woman, I forget her name. I used to know her name. forgot her name. But when one of the founders of Black Lives Matter, they killed her nephew. The cops killed her nephew or cousin or somebody just a couple months back. I mean, I watched that today as well. I watched that video again today as well, and I was like, I just didn't get. What's up, Black Atheist Rants?
So this is you don't do the
Hello?
dark man thing?
Am I in the can y'all hear me?
You gotta turn the light on, bro.
I'm trying.
That's like an avatar.
I know. I'm like, I can't see your face. I mean, look like you got nice teeth.
I'm trying. Now y'all, you caught me. I ain't in the studio, so I kind of had to just come to the car and do it.
Okay, well, thank you for accommodating me. How are you? We need to listen. I'm gonna do an all atheist panel soon, and I'd like you to come.
I'm coming.
Okay.
You just gotta give me the date. So I don't know if y'all saw my comment. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
yep.
you good.
You good.
Okay. I don't know if y'all saw my comment, but it's crazy that I saw this stream because I'm actually a police officer in Memphis. So
okay.
It's hard to talk about. It's hard to talk about it. I'm like shaking and shit, but man, we are not we are not trained to act like that. Like when I was in the academy and shit, because I work for the state troopers, but I'm still a police officer and shit in this area, and it's like where they protested at last night, that was down the street from me, but man, from my time in the school, in the class, in the academy, getting training, all that them long hard hours of that shit, man, we not trained to act like that. They didn't train. They don't train us to do that. And when I watched those videos back to back, I'm like, man, that ain't me. And people see me, and it's like they treat me like I'm them. I'm like, man, I go out. I go the extra mile as an officer to make people feel comfortable, safe. If they cool, I'm cool. If they're giving me the response I want, I'm good. It's that excessive force shit. I never understood how that like literally in most cases, if you approach people properly or you address them correctly, they're gonna give you what you give. That's most people. And it's like in that stop people dealing with old folks and young folks, the young gangbangers, the old heads, everything in between, the crazy people. I deal with them all, and like that ain't what we trying to do. No.
Did you see the whole video? Did you watch the video?
I watched the sky cop cam, the body cam, the fucking other I watched all that shit. And man, let me tell you something about that pepper spray and that taser, man. Hey, when I got pepper spray, because they stood us up, and it's point blank. Let me put this in my ear. They go down the line and they spray you with your eyes open right here. They spray you like that, man. That shit burns. It's literally like your eyes and your brain on fire. It burns, and you can't. And man, you react crazy. Man, ain't like it's no reason for him to even be. He should not have been tased, pepper spray, beat, none of that. Because first of all, if you tell him get out and get on the ground and he getting down, what you doing? All that extra shit. That's why I said, in my opinion, I feel like they had some type of ulterior motive. Something else is going on. Ain't no way that was just a regular traffic stop.
So I wanted to bring this up. And someone reminded me in the chat. They were in a special division. Do you know about that division?
That scorpion shit, man. Yep. This what I really got on here to tell y'all. Like, it's so easy. We're short staffed on like police officers, so they're lowering the requirements to become. And the problem is, you can get fucking Joe Blow who just worked at Wendy's, and he can be a police officer. Or little Betty Ann down the street, she can be an officer. The requirement to become a police officer in this city is like shit, nothing. And that Scorpion division, that's some shit they put together. I ain't in that shit. I ain't got nothing to do with that. Yeah, I'm under the state trooper. I still am in the city of Memphis. But from my understanding, it's some type of special gang crime. They trying to clear up the gang crime unit, and that don't look like that's what they was trying to do in that video.
Can I ask you a question, Black Atheist?
Yes, sir.
Like I really appreciate you. I know we really appreciate you coming up here because we really was hoping to get a point of view from people in law enforcement. Do you feel any type of fear of retribution or any kind of consequence for you coming and speaking out on it just the way so speaking out on it? Do you feel like now people are going to be looking at you a certain kind of way or you know, you feel any kind of retribution or anything gonna come your way?
Man, the trip part is even before this, well, in my hood where I'm from, they already look at me like that. You know, they found out I'm a police officer, and they treat me different anyway. But this right here,
Well,
man,
I'm talking about from the police department. I'm talking about from the police department. You feel like the police department gonna treat?
No.
Okay.
I ain't worried about that. I stand up for what's right. I don't give no fuck about what they can't do nothing to me.
Okay.
Yeah, Martin Luther King said the day we stop talking about what matters is the day we die. So I ain't worried about no consequences, no retribution from them. I ain't worried about that.
Good to hear.
So how are the neighborhoods right now? What's going on right now?
The trip part is like I thought it was gonna be like I thought it was gonna be rough, but honestly, I can say like, man, everybody really it feel like they like coming together. Like you would think that this would tear the city up. You know, you got 4 black cops on video beating them like the white they beat them like we see the white cops do. So it's like, man, the city really like. I mean, everybody I done talked to, you know, I drive through, and it's like, you know, people. In my opinion, I feel like people really coming together. Like even I'm seeing on like Facebook and social media, other people in the city, man. Everybody really just want to come together. They just trying to get an understanding. A lot of people, they can't take it. Like it's too much for them. It's hard for they. A lot of people ain't even watch the video, and like most of the city, they really just wanna like, man. It just feel like they want to come together. Like ain't nobody. We ain't trying to, cause me personally, like my family and the people I know, man, they just wanna like they see how I am, and it kind of made them appreciate how I operate when I'm at work. It kind of makes them appreciate me more. So I can say like as I'm, you know, throughout the streets and moving around and shit, patrolling, and I can see like, man, people, it hurts more than anything. But I feel like everybody just trying to come together. Like it ain't, you would think that they'll be tearing up all the buildings and breaking it. I ain't seen none of that yet. You know,
What do you think? First of all, how are race relations like where you're from, like black and white? How are race relations normally?
This is, you know what I mean, I stay in the Bible Belt. This is South. Memphis it can be diverse in certain areas, but for the most part, is what you think it would be. Like the whites go with the whites, the blacks go with the blacks, and you got a lot of old people, old white men stuck in their ways. You know what I'm saying? But it's like we got you got like the hood, the ghettos, and it's pretty much what you see on TV, like the upper echelon areas, the white neighborhoods. You know, they pretty much stay out there, and everybody else roam around. Oh shit! Damn, I wish I was in my studio. But race relations, I would say it's kind of like 50-50. Like some mingle, some don't. It's diverse in some areas. Some don't. You know, they don't fuck with us. It's pretty much what you expect. Like,
Do you think that the town is calm because the cops were black? You think
That's
there's a
what I'm
different vibe
and
to
see,
it?
that's man. I'm gonna tell you, if them cops is white, man, they'll be this motherfucker be burned to the ground. I'm just
Yeah.
telling you, if them cops was white, with the people the man, this motherfucker would be on this. It wouldn't be no city left. If them cops was white, it wouldn't be no city left. It's like we don't even know how to react to it because they black. Like I ain't used to it. You know,
You're talking complete nonsense. Like,
Dude, don't do that. Don't do that, Simon. This is a police officer. Let him get his point out. I don't think we don't. Let's give him get his point out. Then I'm sure Jen gonna pass the mic to you, brother.
who
ain't worried
are
about that.
you? I mean, Christ Almighty. I mean, like, you just came in.
Yeah, see, so I just
This
muted
is
you, Simon, because we're
he-
gonna respect that this man is in law enforcement and went outside in his car to talk to us about this. It is an emotional thing. He is in the midst of it, so we're gonna respect whatever he has to say, and then I'll pass the mic to you. Okay? I'm sorry about that, Black
yeah,
Atheist.
yeah, brother.
Yeah, he good. I done been ain't nothing. That ain't nothing.
Yeah, I know, but it's necessary.
I forgot what I was talking about. Damn, he fucked me up.
It's okay. Well, look, someone asked the question.
What- I know where you were. You were saying about like how if
Oh
Jen asked the question if they were black, and then you
man,
were saying something.
if them cops
If
is
they're
white,
white, sorry. If they
man,
were
them
white,
cops is
yeah.
white. This shit be burned to the ground. But we don't know how that people don't know how to react to it because they black. Because usually when you see this, what you
deep.
see. Usually when you see this, what do you see? See them white cops. Because when I was in and another thing about, well, I'm gonna say this and then we can move to somebody else. When I was in training, what I noticed was the problem with police officers in general is they don't have any hand-to-hand combat skills. Like I'm a trained fighter. Most police officers are not. They just got off the couch and said, I want to do this. The problem with law enforcement and police officers is if you don't have a lot of de-escalation tactics in your arsenal, meaning you can't help, like you don't have any hand-to-hand skills, you don't know how to defend yourself. Any type of altercation, any type of traffic stop, your life is at risk because you out of shape and don't know how to defend yourself. That's really the problem. They're like a lot of those officers that does this type of shit, they be scared for their life because they can't, they ain't, you know, they don't have any, they don't have any skills. They're not trained. So any type of conflict, my life is in danger. You know what I'm saying? Because they told us in training, like if you got a gun on you, your firearm is on you, and you in like, and it's like a fist fight or altercation, don't reach for it, because if you reach for it, it's both of y'all gun. Because if the minute you pull it out and y'all too close, it's both of y'all gun. And the problem is with a lot of officers, they can't defend themselves. They're not trained fighters. They're out of shape. They're overweight, and they eat that donut and coffee shit. That shit is real. These motherfuckers eat donuts, drink coffee, and think they superheroes. And then when that 6'3", 200-pound motherfucker get out the car, it's like, oh shit, my life is in danger because I'm not skilled in my hand. Like most of this stuff could easily be solved if the officers were trained better. They got to do, like, once you're done with the academy, once you're done with your training where you get like commission, okay, now you need to be able to go do like some type of martial arts or hit the gym or train on your own, so you can be able to defend yourself, because literally any type of altercation, their life is at risk. I'm dead serious. I done seen it with my eyes. Any type of step out the car.
Yeah, I found that interesting too. That I was like, none of these guys. I mean, Krav Maga, some martial arts, bending of your. I mean, my cousin used to be a police officer, and you know, he would just show me these ways to grab your wrist and touch you on different points, and I was just capacitated. And these 5 guys, none of them knew how to control this slim 29-year-old man.
Yep.
None of them.
And if you look at them, most of them out of shape too. He gasping for. I'm like, man, you ain't even dishing. You out of breath. They be like, that's how it really is. They out of shape, don't have really no type of hand training. And that be one of the main problems. Any conflict, shit, they fucking can die.
So someone in the chat wants to know what's the environment like between the white officers and the black officers in Memphis? Like, do the white officers respect the black officers, or they tolerate them?
I would say for the most part, shit, they respect us. I hate to have to give my personal my personal experience, but from what I've seen and what I go through, they respect us, and they you know they welcome me with open arms when I went and trained with the state troopers, and they treat me like I'm family. And the officers that came with me, the black officers that came with me, they treat us like we family. I ain't never really got the vibe of um like they think they better than us, because when I was in training, this was my thing. If I'm gonna risk my life with you, you gonna fucking hug me. So I used to hug everybody I went to school with. I used to hug them, the old white folks, the young white folks, the Hispanic, when they come in the door, because I used to be the first one in the class. And when everybody came in, I give out hugs, shake their hand. We risking our life together. We gonna be family. If that ain't the case, then what we here for? So when I went through training, and the officers I see, they don't look down on the black officers and treat us like we less than them. I ain't seen that, but I know that does happen, and I can't act like it don't.
Yeah. I got a question for you. Like just my personal feeling, and I would love to get your perspective on this question. Is like, do you feel like is it different mentality or expectation if like say you gotta like do something in a poor black neighborhood versus a poor white neighborhood? Is the amount of aggression or the mind state the same, or does it differ because of where you at?
So I'll say, so when it comes to answering the calls and shit, truth is, like, a lot of times, some officers, they don't like to answer them certain calls in certain areas and shit. But me, because the trip part is because I'm from the worst parts of this city I've lived. If you were not from here and you ask somebody what's the worst part, and they gave you a list, I could go down that list and check off all them bad apartments where you can't go outside past this time, or they shooting and bullets hitting, going through the apartments, and motherfuckers getting robbed broad daylight, and you can't go this place. You gotta have, you can't walk through my neighborhood without no gun where I'm from. So it's like a lot of those places. It takes a certain time. You gotta be able to you gotta know how to deal with you know people differently. Sometimes you have to level with people based on where they're from. That's not saying, oh, you black, you from poor neighborhood, so I'm a talk to you, talk down to you. It's like sometimes you might have to say, "What's up, bro? You good? What's up, fam?" That's how I talk. It's certain places where you have to be more aggressive and tough, and in certain places where you good. But because I'm from the neighborhood, it's nothing to me. I know a lot of cops don't like to answer the calls, or you know, it's like, oh shit, you gotta go over there. I'm like, man, I'm from there. It ain't nothing. Them people, those are people too. Those are humans too. Even though they got it rough, and it is harder in them areas, and them areas are more dangerous, high crime rate and shit. Man, it's nothing to go in there and level with them people. Because before I was a officer, I was doing armed security in those same neighborhoods, and we had security guards getting shot at and ran over. And I go over there, I ain't number 25. I was 23. I go over there, the gangbangers, the OGs, the Bloods, and they buy me pizza, give me stuff from the stove, go barbecue and bring it to me. And it's just how you treat people. You know what I'm saying? So it's like those areas, the crime rate is higher, but man, those still people too. And I look at it like them my folks. So shit, it's not for me. I could go over there and de-escalate and talk and calm that domestic violence and handle it. But a lot of
And
officers,
you're 25. You're
I'm
25.
I'm 25 now. Yep.
Oh my goodness. So can you tell us how you would have handled that stop? I mean, according to the cops, they stopped him because he was driving suspiciously. Now they're saying that there's no proof of that. How would you have handled that stop if you had to pull him over? And you saw the video, so you saw what happened.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw it. If
his reaction. So how would you have handled that?
That's a good question. If they saying it was whatever they said it was, he literally was cooperating. He didn't raise he did not raise his voice. He wasn't trying to be aggressive and fight back, they say step out the car. They was able to get him out. If that means he wasn't even, if he was resisting, he would have been resisting while he was in the car. So if I asked him to step out and he step out, you don't have to do all that extra. That's why I'm like, it had to be something outside. It can't be just a regular traffic stop, because they was beating on him like he did something to them personally. He seemed like he was, even when he was on the ground, he was like, I'm on the ground. I'm like, well, it's not, you don't have to use all that excessive force. It's levels to it. You don't have to use all that excessive force if he's getting on the ground, putting his hands up, calling for his mama and shit, man. It don't take all that.
And what you mentioned earlier that sometimes you have to, like, you know what I mean, bring all the muscles, right? What does that look like? What do you do when you have to, you know what I mean, escalate to de-escalate? What does that look like to you? Because you sound like you're a great officer and you're diplomatic. But what happens when someone's not complying? Like, what does that look like?
The way I do it is I always give people options. I'm like, look, you gonna go either way. Do you want to just do it on your own, get in the car? Or do you want me and some of my buddies to put you down? And when you give them options, they're like, well, shit, I'm going anyway. And shit, in most cases, you ain't really got to do that. But if it comes to that, then it does. And it don't take, again, if you're trained, it don't take much. It's enough for me to take down somebody bigger than me. It's nothing. And usually you're going to have a partner with you. It does not take all of that. Once they on the ground, feet spread, hands behind their back, and they cuffed, we can drag them. All of us you can get an arm in the leg, everybody pick them up. It don't take all the extra punching and kicking, pulling the baton. There was no need for the pepper spray, the baton, the taser, none of that. It don't take all that. But if it does, then it does. A lot of people will go down for like petty crimes. They'll steal from a store and go down for that. I'm like, well, if it comes to it, I know how to handle myself. I know how to use what I was trained to do. And once I have the person detained and he's under arrest and he's down, it's nothing else to do. All the extra shit, you don't have to do that. Based on it's case by case. Based on the situation, you can determine, okay, I need to use this level of force. Okay, he's swinging, so let me, you know what I'm saying, use that level. Or does he have a weapon on him? You know, how can I assess it? You have to be, they put you in scenarios to where you're ready for every single thing like that. So it's like any type of situation that occurs where you have to use force, you're trained for it. It's no random shit that's like, I ain't never been through this before. They gonna put you through the ringer in the training. So when you get on the streets, oh, he's being aggressive body language. He trying to swing at me. Boom, I know how to handle that. I know what level to use. Boom, you know what I'm saying? Like they give you tasers and pepper spray and a firearm. And they show you they show you my bad, I ain't meant to put this down. For every level, they show you what to do based on what's happening. If he's cooperating, you good.
Do you
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay. I'm just trying to get information from you because I don't know how long we have you for. So I wanted to ask, we spoke about the culture of the police department before. Do you ever find yourself like surrounded with police officers and they're talking a little froggy or just talking about doing things or covering things up? Like, you don't have to say what, you don't have to put yourself out, but do you do stuff that you're not fucked up?
Not the ones I'm around.
Okay, so this division sounds like it was its own entity, like
that's something. It looked like, and it seemed like that was something that it's some personal shit going on with them. Like they had a vendetta. That don't seem like.
You know what they reminded me of? You know that movie? You guys remember that movie with 50 Cent? They were robbing banks. It was a crew of them. Ice Cube's son was in it.
Yeah. I know. I remember that. Yeah, I remember the movie.
That crew reminded me of like how them guys were. Does anyone know what that crew is for specifically? The police officers, like the Scorpions, I think they call them, or the Scorpion. I'm not sure what they call that particular outfit or that crew. But does anyone know what they were for specifically? Are they like a drug task force? Are they a gang task force? Are they like? Does anyone know?
They do it all, right? They whatever. They down for whatever. They open the Am I right? Because I think that's what they do. It's like if it's a drug situation, they own that. If it's a gang situation, they own that. You know, they here to just like is that right, Black Atheist? Because I know they're like the crash unit in LA that was mad corrupt in the '80s, where that's what they were designed to be like drug and gang
Yeah,
cases and stuff
that's
like
put
that.
together. That was put together specifically for that.
Yeah.
Oh. So
Mhm.
you think, I mean, on top of the culture of being on the job, they probably feel like the bigger, badder asses, like the big badasses of the force, maybe, and they just have that culture amongst themselves. Like we're the crew that'll come and like whip
Beat your
ass.
ass. Yeah.
They're
Mhm.
those guys, like the henchmen of the department.
Shit, they look more like a gang to me than the
Mhm.
gang members in that video. I was like, damn,
Yeah, that was rough.
that was rough to watch.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
glad that it's not crazy down there for you, and you don't have to deal with any of that, any
Mhm.
riots thing like
Yeah,
that. I mean that's a good thing. That's a plus.
yeah. They protested right down the street from me. Where I was right by the bridge, and I was like, they ain't caused no ruckus. They pretty much did what they was gonna do and left. And today, even today, throughout I was off today, but even driving through the streets, I ain't seen nothing. Everybody seemed like they just, man, hurt more by the fact that it was black officers than anything. I think that really hurt everybody. They don't know how to react to that, so they just trying to get.
Is this the normal speed? I know that this doesn't happen a lot, but yeah, but this is a normal speed. That's probably all right. Investigation, firing, indictments. Is this like is it going at a normal speed, or
Yeah,
did they speed it up
yeah.
or slow it
No,
down?
they trying to get them boys up out the way. Like,
Okay.
yeah, they move because it ain't they. If I was a lawyer, man, I wouldn't take them cases, man. Them boys blatantly caught red-handed. I mean, that Sky Cop cam, just that street cam got it all. Holding him up to punch him in the face. You can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh,
He was already in. What are you doing?
yeah.
And ain't
I
none
mean,
of
they
the
were
officers stopped.
holding him. It looked like a gang. Like they were holding him so the guy could punch him in the face. And you see this child's head go back and forth with each punch. And you just want to like
Mhm.
jump through the screen. Like it makes you emotional because you're like, somebody stop it. Somebody say stop. Just somebody say
Yeah.
stop. And no one did.
He
No
was
one did.
calling for his mama. He said, "Mom." I'm like, at that point, shh, put him in. I mean, you don't even have to. It's not much. If it was really just about the arrest, somebody calling for their mama, man, my heart, I can't do that. It ain't in me.
Well,
I
we're
don't,
glad,
and I'm not even. I don't
we're
even
glad
like
that
guns. I don't even like
really?
guns.
I know a cop like that in New York.
I can't stand them. I like to get mine out the mud. You got a problem with me? Let's go to the grass about 30 seconds. Get this over with. Ain't gonna take me that long. We can go back to shaking hands. We can go get something to eat when we done. I like to get mine out the mud. These boys, I'm not a gun fanatic. Yeah, I know a lot of people that's officers. They got 40, 50 guns. They like to go shoot them all the time. They obsessed with this shit. I'm like, man,
Yeah.
that's me. I don't even like guns.
How long you been on the job?
Man, it's been since September. I just started this shit. So I
You
still
a
got milk.
rookie.
I got milk behind my ears. Yeah.
Hello. We gotta talk to you in 5 years. You're gonna be like, man, fuck
Mm-hmm.
those people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In 5 years, we gotta circle back. Fuck those people. That's right, I'll beat his ass.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. Oh my God, you knew. Well, I feel like we gotta say thank you for your service because you sound like an amazing
Yeah.
officer. I'm serious. Like we need you out there to have a level head. You're still new,
Mm-hmm.
but I think that if you like getting it out the mud, I think you'll stick to it. I think you'll stick to it. I know a lot of cops that are good people.
Yeah,
This
it takes a lot for me to even like me pulling out this firearm. That's the last thing on my mind. If one of these motherfuckers try me, hey, I don't need no pistol. If you ain't got nail, I don't need mine. I know I'm trained. I know how to fight. It ain't gonna take nothing for me to put you on this ground and take you down and put you in these cuffs if I have to do that. I don't need none of this shit on my belt. I act like it ain't there.
I knew someone just like that. Just always would forget his gun places because he wasn't mindful to like, I'm carrying a gun. And then there's some people that should I carry everywhere. I'm like, I think I carry more than the cops I know. I'm like, I
don't like going places where I need one. I don't go to them places. If I feel like I got to have a gun, I ain't even going.
Yep.
You're definitely one of the good guys. There is one of the cops is pleading not guilty. I did hear from his attorney, Damien. Did you see that? His attorney saying that he's appalled.
I didn't see that.
He's appalled that he's being accused of this, and
I actually saw a white. It looked like from the video a white cop tased him. I saw like that body cam was kind of bright skinned hands. But that person is
interesting because I thought I saw a white cop hit him with a baton, but I guess not because I thought I saw the white cop come and hit him in his back, and I was like, if that person is black, they hella light skin.
Yeah, that body cam footage, them hands like Michael Jackson. That body cam footage.
Yeah, like I was like, is this where the white cop came in? But then I don't think so because they would have arrested him too.
Yeah, exactly.
So it couldn't have been. But I could have sworn the guy that ran up and oh my god. Oh my goodness.
The trip part is they had to get off of him for them to tase him. That's how you know he was already detained. You already got him down.
Damn.
If I gotta tell you to move back so I can, that means he already on it. It's 4 of us and we weigh about 200 pounds each. Man, we got this. Somebody get his legs, and if he really breaking the law, somebody get his legs, and we can put the hands behind his back and cuff him. But
even the guy that was coming in with the baton, like you could see like him telling.
He was trying to get a shot. It's like he was trying to.
Yeah. He was trying to get
the right angle to hit him with it. I'm like, no, dude.
Yeah, he was like trying to get in there, and I was like, they're gonna kill this man. They're gonna kill him.
Yeah. Man.
Horrible.
I know how it feels to get pulled over and you don't know what the fuck about to happen. So when I do it, I be treating them people with utmost. How y'all doing today? Y'all all right? I see you got your family in the car. I might make a joke or something.
Right.
Tell them don't skip leg day or something. Break the ice or some shit. Man, people love me, man. I feel like the people who, because I don't want to have to be a cop. Those are the people that should be the ones that don't want to do it. Because when we do it, it's like it's really out of love, and we really trying to make people feel. I want people to feel safe around me. I don't like to be like, oh shit, here come the police. Hell no. When I come around, motherfucker need to be like, officer, boom, what's up, man? They need to be happy to see me. The kids need to be happy to see me. The young adult, I want people to be happy to see me when damn. Oh, never mind. That's Officer so-and-so. He's straight. What's up, fam? Y'all all right? Y'all need something? Let me know. These your people. These your family. What you doing? I don't get it.
Now, what if you have a partner? You have a partner?
Yeah, but it's a white guy. He cool though.
Okay. What if you were coupled up with one of them guys? How would you handle that? If they like, let's go beat his ass, I'm gonna stomp him.
I ain't even gonna lie. I ain't going for that. They gonna have to fire me because I'm gonna smack shit out of all them motherfuckers. I would have been like, I would have been pushing them off of him. Ain't no way I'm finna. At some point it's like, okay, we got this guy. What we doing? I'm the one. They probably wouldn't even told me what's going on. They would be like, oh shit, he come this, but. Nah, I ain't going for that. And I already told myself before I even decided to do this shit. Man, that if it ever come a time where the officers I'm with, my partner's doing some excessive shit, man, fuck that arrest. You ain't finna kill this person with me with you. You ain't finna beat this person and we already got him detained and I'm with you. Shit, you might well go and put your gloves on for me too, because I ain't going for that.
That's what shocked me, that none of them were afraid to be caught up in it. Like nobody, that would have made me nervous because I'm like, yo, you're gonna kill him. I'm with you. I'm gonna get in trouble. Like none of them cared. Like none of them. That was weird to me. That none of them were like, hold up, I'm here. I don't want to get involved. Time out. Wait, nobody did that.
Ain't no way he did something to make them that mad. Ain't no way. Whatever he did, it couldn't have been that. It couldn't have been that bad. If they he was driving suspicious, whatever they said he was doing, it wasn't worth that.
And it turns out he was doing nothing. That's what's even crazier.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's
Well, I said they got something else. We're gonna find out, but I believe they had something. He was a target. They targeted him. They had to have targeted him or something.
Seriously,
it did look weird. It did look weird, and that's why I said it's bizarre. Like it doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. They were too like it looked like they were on a mission for that person. Like, oh, where he's at, let's go. That's what it looked like. And we've seen that pack mentality before. We've seen videos where I remember the kid in New York City, Junior, the 14-year-old who was stabbed to death by that pack. It was that same, you know what I mean? That same energy. Like, there he is, let's get him. That's how it looked with Tyre Nichols. It looked like that. Like, there he is, let's get him. It didn't look like, let's go arrest this guy. It was bizarre to me. It looked bizarre, but it'll come out. It'll come out. They're going to panic. They're going to start telling on each other. They're going to try to get out of trouble. I have a feeling that there's something else there. There's something else there. And we're going to find out what it is. Just doesn't look like a routine. Like, even if they are the Scorpio, whatever other division they are, it still looks extra. Does anybody have any questions for Black Atheist? Black Atheist, tell us about your channel. Just for the record, you're on the panel right now. You're on the panel right now with 3 other atheists.
For real?
Yeah.
For real.
Damn, man, that shit bring me so much. Like, I have yet to meet one in person, y'all. I'm still waiting on that moment, but I ain't.
Well, you're in the Bible Belt too, so
I lost everybody. I lost them all. I ain't got nobody. No grandmama, no mom. Nah, don't nobody deal with me. Nobody.
You gotta
my whole
pull
family.
up on the block. You gotta pull up here more often. Like, look, there's 3 of us right here on the top row. And have you heard of the convention, the Atheist Convention in Atlanta? I was gonna go, but I was looking at the pictures and I was like, maybe when it gets more popular. It looked like so empty. I was like, they're still working.
It looked like No, it didn't look like Comic-Con. I guess I was gonna say it looked like Comic-Con.
I was like, I'll wait a couple more years, but I'll go. I'll wait a couple more years.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to start going to that shit. But man,
see, but I feel bad because that's how I used to feel. Like when someone would ask me about being an atheist, it's like you get nervous because it's like, oh, they're gonna, you know what I mean? They're gonna say, because I saw you like, I want to talk about my channel. You can talk about your channel here.
But see, I'm kind of like when I'm on other people's channel, I kind of do shit different. But on mine, I be kind of rough and hardcore. But like if you go to my channel, you gonna like, ain't no way this the same person. Yep, same motherfucker. I'm shocked. Yeah. I try to.
I'm gonna go check it out.
I try to treat other people's channels like, you know, I'm just a guest spending the night. I ain't staying long. But on my shit, it's right.
You know, well, we appreciate. We immensely appreciate you. But yeah, when I saw you coming up, I said, oh my God, he's about to go off. Because I know your channel. I've seen your channel. So I was like, he's about to go off.
My shit, I try to treat mine like home. Everybody get to relax, kick your feet up. We at home. Like, because if you, man, this atheist shit, man, it's like I don't like how when I first stopped believing in God, I ain't had nowhere to go. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody just let me come, you know, express what I think in my head on they shit. So I said I'm gonna create the place where people can come and just, man, scream, curse, fuck, you know, this God, man, you know, and.
Hey, you got my attention. You got my attention because I scrolled by and I was like, oh, hold on, wait a minute. Because we are rare, but it's growing. It's growing. The population is growing. But yeah, I've caught a lot of heat. I'm sure No Saint, I'm sure Dame. Like, we've all caught that heat. Our family members, you know what I mean? What do you mean you don't believe in God? I'm like, I don't believe in God. Why? I don't want to get into it. You don't want to get into it because it's too much to explain. It's just like I just don't. So I wanted to do a panel like where all the
You should. I promise you should.
I'm gonna do it. It's gonna be our little own atheist convention, and we'll all talk about our journey to being non-believers. So you're more than welcome.
Yeah, that shit cool. That shit cool. I like that. I like that. Man, I started this shit and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'll just keep going with it. And it just that motherfucker started growing. I was like, damn, people started rocking with it. You know, I get messages on Instagram, long messages all the time. Like they be like, man, I'm glad you doing this because we need somebody doing it. I appreciate you for doing it. You say the stuff I can't say. I'm like, and that shit, yeah, I got the goosebumps right now under the jacket. It give me so emotional because I like, man, I like that.
Like that. Are you Black Atheist Rants on Instagram too?
People, I know that's a lot to say. People really just call me Bar. I don't know. Because I know people get tired of saying Black Atheist Rants, Black Atheist. Everybody just call me Bar. They just like, what's up, Bar? And I'll be like,
that's even better, Bar.
I kind of just went with it because that's what everybody say. So I just went with that. I know there's a lot to keep saying Black Atheist Rants, Black Atheist, yeah.
So what I'm gonna do is I'll send you a message on IG so we could all come back and talk about the journey because I think it'll be interesting because I'm sure we all got there different ways. We all got here different ways. So it'll be interesting for people to hear, you know what I mean? The journey to enlightenment, like Necessary Evil says, the journey to enlightenment. Wow, I am so because I was so worried about doing this without, you know what I mean, law enforcement on the panel to give their side, and you gave amazing insight. I really want to thank you for that, for camming up. I understand why you're in the dark. I got no problem now.
If I would have known, I would have been in the studio. It would have been better. I ain't know though. Damn.
No, it's fine like this. You don't have to show your face because we are talking about a sensitive, you know what I mean, topic. So it is totally cool. Next time you'll be in the studio.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any questions for Bar?
Yeah, Bar, have you ever heard of the real Black Atheist?
I thought I was the only one.
Yeah.
But no, I ain't never heard. Is that a YouTube channel? I ain't never heard of it.
Yeah, he's on YouTube. Yeah, he's
real Black Atheist.
Real Black Atheist.
Real Black Atheist.
Yeah, he's really good. He does a channel called the Pseudo Killers, but he's really does a lot on evolution and things like that. It's a really interesting channel.
I gotta go look at that because I thought when I type in Black Atheist, you know what the first thing that come up? Matt Dillahunty. When I first typed in Black Atheist, it was a phone call on the atheist experience. It was Matt Dillahunty. I said, nah, when somebody type in Black Atheist, I want them to see my fucking face. So I started doing YouTube, and that's where we at with it. So
I sub to your channel. I just went and subbed. So
that'd be interesting. I'm gonna check out that channel too. Yeah, we're gonna have our own little convention, and then who knows? Maybe one day we'll all see each other down in Atlanta.
Yeah,
for that atheist convention. We'll be like, yeah. I mean, that's why my whole theme is like wearing the horns. They're magnificent horns, but it's just me, you know. It's like me joking about how people look at atheists. That's why I wear the horns. I'm like, it's not serious to me, but if that's how you view me, fine. So I went to Party City and I bought me some magnificent horns. And that's that profile pic. Oh, wait, hold on. Here it goes right here. I was like, all right, I'm evil, fine.
I love it.
Yeah, that's the picture I saw too.
I was like, fine, I'm evil. Well,
I got a picture of me praying on mine.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, no.
Wait, no saint used to use Jesus.
Yeah, no, Buddy Christ.
Yeah, he said thumbs up. Yeah.
It is all good. Everybody has a right to their beliefs and non-beliefs. It is all good. I mean, and again, you know, the atheists and some Christians will be mad at me, and I'll hear about it later in the DMs. But atheists are some of the most amazing, level-headed, compassionate people I know.
I'm
trying to tell you.
Truly,
I make this shit look good. I make this. I put flavor on this shit, man. This shit look good the way I wear it. Cause like, man, I'm trying to do it all, man. I like to paint. I'm going to the gym. I'm trying to do everything that they think we can't do or don't do. And when they find I'm an atheist, because people be like, man, what church you go to? And I just smile. I'm like, I got you. You think I'm one of them, don't I don't believe in that shit, bro. They be so surprised because like, but you so nice to people, but you make sure people straight. You care about. I said, I know.
Exactly.
It's me, dog. In the flesh.
That is how we are. That is how we
It's very true.
Yeah.
Coolest
Just
people
mad.
on the planet. We'll be there.
No,
We'll
I'm
get.
trying to tell you.
We're probably the flavor that convention needs. Because when I saw the pictures, I was like, but imagine me walking in,
Man, they got like
what they need.
atheists. You know, atheists can have flavor and swag too, man. They gotta make that shit like
the hip hop atheist convention.
you know, flavor. They put some sugar and spice in that thing, man.
Walking with my Puerto Rican
It's like oatmeal. Like some wheat thins.
Because right now, who are the famous ones? Like Ricky Gervais, maybe Bill Maher.
Yeah.
Seth Rogen he's an atheist.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah. So I listen. The trip part is I done listen to all the atheist channels and shit, man. I can't sit through that shit. That shit boring, man. Them dudes boring. Man, people like when I go live, everybody be laughing, having a good time, man. What is and then you know, the God of the bubble is in it. I'm like, man, I'm finna go to sleep. I can't put some, you know, like everybody be like, I should be a comedian, but I'm not trying to be funny. I just, you know, just talk. But you gotta be, man, it's like they treat us like this a lecture hall or something, bro. This, you know, are you happy to be doing this? Like, man, smile, make a joke, laugh.
What is it? Neil Tyson DeGrasse? He's an atheist.
Yeah.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
No,
Neil
Neil deGrasse
Tyson.
Tyson.
Yeah.
I like him.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people, they are atheists, but they don't call themselves atheists. I'm like, man, fuck that. Hey, whatever you want to call me, I don't believe in this shit. I'm hard on this. Whatever.
That's how I feel. I just use the name to cut the conversation.
Yes.
But I'm like, you know, sometimes people that are atheists, they could be just as radical as Christians.
Yeah. But I think they have it like misconstrued because they think we just run into like churches and be like, y'all fucking stupid. Like, you know, we don't, you know, we just want to live our lives and be cool. And like you say, like atheists, it's just like, you know, just have fun and chill and stuff like that. Actually, Corey Holcomb is an atheist. My wife just saw his show. Corey Holcomb is atheist.
Like Corey.
Really? I mean, it's growing, and as time goes on, more people gonna be saying it out loud. Because I'm apologetic. It's just that my family, they don't understand it. So I'm like, I don't get into it, right? They don't understand it. They're religious to the bone. So I'm like, you're not gonna get it. I love you guys. See y'all later. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, don't worry about it. I'm still the same person. Don't worry about it. But it's growing, and you know how it is with social media and everything. More people are gonna come out the closet. More people are gonna come out the religious closet. Like, you know, this is what I am. But really, the salt of the earth we are, if I do say so myself. Salt of the earth. All right, guys, this was amazing, but we're gonna close out. I really want to do that atheist panel. I will slippy slide into your DMs. Bar, thank you so much for coming up. This was truly amazing. I swear things be lining up on the block. The stars just be lining up here. Okay, this is a good thing. All right, guys. So Tristan, are you gonna take us out? Thank you so much, everybody, for coming up and talking about this, because I know it's a very sensitive topic. We have to revisit. Of course, I would like to revisit when they get more evidence and things like that, more information on these cops and their histories, because now you know they're going to be investigating them, other people they've arrested, their records. So, we'll come back to this for sure. We'll come back to this with the rest of our panel who's traveling right now. But yeah, man, this is really dope. Thank you. I feel a little better actually talking about this and getting it out, because watching that video is traumatic.
Yeah,
It It really, really. And I watched the whole hour because I was like, I want to know what you're talking about.
Damn.
Yeah. All right, Tristan, take us out.
Just because of the topic, I'll just end class. I'm not making no jokes on that.
Okay.
All right, y'all.
Love you all.
All right.
Class dismissed.
Peace
Good night.
out.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. All right, guys, if you are still here for any reason, do not forget, follow me on the block with Jen on all social media platforms, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. If you want to Gmail me about a topic you'd like me and my panel to dissect and look into, on the block with Jen at Gmail. You can go in there and hit me up about a collab or an interview or things like that. Don't forget, if you want to support the show, by all means, hit my Cash App so Mama could keep the church lights on. Cash App on the block with Jen. It is scrolling on the bottom. Thank you so much for holding me down in the chat. I will see you guys here on Tuesday, okay? And it's always going to be really, really good. I'm so grateful for Bar showing up so we could get some insight from the police department. Thank you so much for being respectful in the chat, whoever was. I know some of you wasn't, but I'm just saying. All right, guys. So don't forget to like and subscribe on your way out the door. And I will see you next week. Thank you so much for spending this time with Mama. Mama's happy. Now I gotta go eat spaghetti. All right, guys. Good night.